Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name is Kevin. A marriage doesn't collapse all at once. It unravels slowly, piece by piece. I didn't realize how deep we were sinking until we finally hit rock bottom. The day I received my divorce papers is still etched in my mind. I was at work when the receptionist rang my office. I thought maybe it was a delivery, some surprise package waiting for me. But when I went downstairs, a man stood there holding a manila envelope. Inside were the documents that marked the end of 12 years of marriage. She hadn't even come herself. She had someone else deliver the news. And she wasn't just leaving. She was aiming to take everything. What she didn't expect, though, was what would come afterward. I first met Amanda when I was still building my business from scratch. Those days were brutal. Long hours, late nights, every ounce of energy poured into making it work. She wasn't in the business world herself. She had a corporate job, but she admired my drive. For a long time, we were simply friends, talking in the rare moments I wasn't working, usually late at night. I hardly had time for anything else, yet somehow we started dating. Things moved fast, and within a year, we were already discussing marriage. I told myself, when you know, and back then, I truly believed she was the one. Marriage felt like the natural step forward. Build a life together, raise a family. Even though I was still buried in work, I thought once the business stabilized, everything would balance out. I believed that love and loyalty were enough to fill in the gaps between what I could give and what she needed. And for a while, it seemed to work. 2 years after we married, we had our son, and 2 years later, our daughter. But appearances don't always show what's going on behind closed doors. The biggest crack in our marriage? Money. From the outside, we looked fine. A decent home, decent cars, stable jobs. But inside, we were waging a constant, quiet war. Amanda equated happiness with spending. Designer clothes, luxury bags, spa weekends, the latest gadgets. If it was trendy, she wanted it. If her friends had it, she needed it. Her motto was simple. If you have money, spend it. And if you don't, just use credit. I wasn't stingy, but I believed in responsibility. For me, as long as there was a roof over our heads, food in the fridge, and our kids were taken care of, that was what mattered. Running a private business meant my income wasn't always steady. There were great months and lean months, so I had to plan, save, and think ahead. Our system looked fine on paper. I handled the big expenses like rent, school fees, groceries, and maintenance. She covered smaller household bills with her income. At first, it worked. But as I earned more, her demands grew louder. Every raise in income came with a new expectation. I need this. Or, why can't you just buy that? And if I hesitated, she'd sulk, lash out, or go cold for days, even weeks. Love, to her, began to look like receipts and shopping bags. Eventually, I stopped sharing how much I made. Not because I wanted to hide things, but because honesty only turned into pressure. If I mentioned landing a big client, the next question would be, so when are we upgrading the car? Or, I saw something I really want. And if I said no, I was suddenly stingy, unsupportive, uncaring. In my own home, I became the bad guy. She said I wasn't transparent. But every time I was, she twisted it into more demands. It felt safer to stay quiet. That silence grew into distance, resentment, and mistrust. She thought I was pulling away. I thought she was being unreasonable. Neither of us was willing to bend. By the time we reached our 10th anniversary, things had gone from strained to unbearable. One day, Amanda announced she was quitting her job. No discussion, no planning, just a declaration. I've sacrificed enough. I'm done working. She pointed to her friends who stayed at home, brunching, traveling, pampering themselves, and asked why she couldn't have the same. I asked if she thought it was fair to put everything on my shoulders. Her response? I deserve it. After quitting, she grew more distant. Nights out became routine, parties, events, girls' nights. She'd return home late, dressed like she was attending a red carpet event. At home, she was detached, barely present with me or even the kids. Whenever I tried to talk, she'd accuse me of being controlling. I barely recognized the woman I married. One dinner changed everything. Casually, as if asking me to pass the salt, she said, "Since I quit my job for this family, you should pay me what I used to earn every month." I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She repeated it with a straight face. I said no. Her stare turned cold, and from that night on, the air in our home froze. Even the kids noticed. My daughter once asked, "Daddy, why doesn't Mommy say goodnight to you anymore?" I forced a smile and told her Mommy was just tired, but I knew the truth. Soon, the kids started repeating things Amanda had said. "Mom said you're selfish," or "Mom told Annie you don't take care of us." I swallowed the hurt and tried to shield them from the conflict. Meanwhile, Amanda was out almost every night. When she did come home, any attempt at conversation ended in insults and hostility. Then came the night I overheard my kids mention a man Mommy brought over. My heart sank. When I asked them gently, they shut down immediately, eyes down, refusing to answer. I confronted Amanda later. She exploded, calling me paranoid and insecure, never denying it, never confirming it. That was enough for me to hire a private investigator. While waiting for answers, I wrestled with dread. If they brought me proof, what would I do? Divorce? Could I survive that? What about my kids? I had always sworn they'd never grow up in a broken home. But my marriage was already collapsing. 2 weeks later, the truth came, and it cut deeper than I expected. Amanda wasn't just cheating. She was having an affair with her lawyer, the same smug man who had handed me divorce papers at my office. My wife was sleeping with a man hired to tear me apart in court. That betrayal should have shattered me, but instead, it gave me something I didn't have before: leverage. My lawyer called the evidence a gold mine: conflict of interest, ethical violations, potential malpractice. Suddenly, the ground beneath Amanda's case crumbled. In court, her team came in confident. Until the truth was revealed, the judge's demeanor shifted immediately. Amanda's lawyer tried to spin it, claiming their relationship started before he took her case. But that only made it worse. He had been emotionally compromised the whole time. It wasn't just unprofessional, it was unethical. The judge wasn't having it. Amanda went from looking powerful to completely blindsided. Her plan had backfired. From that moment, everything changed. Calls from Amanda flooded my phone. I ignored them. Her lawyer begged for an out-of-court settlement. I told my attorney, "Do whatever protects my kids, my peace, and my work." In the end, we reached a settlement. I kept most of my assets. Amanda walked away with the bare minimum the law required. The golden parachute she expected never came. But the most important part? I secured full, unrestricted access to my children. That was the one thing I refused to compromise. My marriage may have ended, but my role as a father remains unshaken. After the dust settled, Amanda moved out. On paper, it looks like I won. I kept what mattered most, my kids. But deep down, it didn't feel like a victory. I didn't marry her to end up in court. I loved her. I would have endured almost anything, except betrayal. As for her lawyer, his future is out of my hands. He crossed a line that could destroy his career. But I won't be the one to bury him. He dug that hole himself. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate it. What would you have done if you were in my position?